So menopausal weight gain is real, and it really did hit me hard. For somebody who's been suffering through this process of going through the menopause, gaining weight, already feeling like I don't understand myself anymore, my body and the way it functions, it's not how I'm used to. I decided to look into something else, and that was Monjaro. So I want to be able to give you an honest review of my experience, because I feel it's needed. Basically, I think there's so many people out there are still on the fence, wondering whether or not they shouldn't, and so on with this. So here's my review. So, firstly, I have been overweight for a long time, and I always used to be a gym bunny. I used to be into martial arts when I was in my 20s, and then late 20s, took on a stressful job, started gaining weight because I stopped going to the gym because I was working longer hours, and that's when the cycle started. Then, fast forward into my late 30s, started having menopausal symptoms at a young age in my 30s. Nothing ever diagnosed, just kept going, living life as you do, working full time, working more than one job or whatever. Then went through marriage, then divorce, and then come COVID. That was then a bit of an interesting experience, very stressful. Now, I don't know if about you, if you relate to this, but with menopause, my anxiety has gone through the roof. And what I find is when I'm anxious, especially really really heightened anxiety, I sort of binge eat, not as in bulimia, but as in like I just binge eat. And I don't necessarily have really bad fattening foods at home, and I don't live on takeaways either. I have the odd takeaway occasionally, maybe once a month, maybe once every other month, and I'm on about like a portion of chips from the chippy, that sort of thing. Nothing major. But what I would find is I would, instead of having one yogurt, I'd have two. Instead of having one bowl of cereal, I'd go back and have another as a snack. And so I was snacking more. So I was consuming a lot more calories. So my weight was piling on through the anxiety. Plus, when I did get into the mindset of, right, okay, I'm going to make an effort now, conscious effort to be in a calorie deficit. I'm going to move more, which is all the things you're supposed to do to lose weight. When I was doing that, the weight was not coming off, which people would think, what are you on about? It should do. Well, it wasn't. Okay. It generally was not coming off. And I did try this for a period of time and weighing myself once a week. I don't become obsessed with the scale. I try to be healthy with my mindset on using the scales at home. I would weigh myself in the same place, wearing the same clothes. I'd actually have the scale on the same square in the tile on the kitchen floor. Do you know what I mean? I did everything as you should do when you're weighing yourself consistently. But the weight was not coming off. I might lose a pound, but nothing major, nothing to make a song and dance about. There was nothing, wow factor about it. It just wasn't coming off the way it should. So after doing lots of research, and I mean lots and lots of research, combined with the fact that I'm on HRT for menopause, I was looking into the injection. Now, after researching the injection for weight loss, Monjaro is the one that they recommend if you're going through HRT, the menopause, etc., because of your joints and things. Your bone density isn't as strong, and you lose a lot of really important hormones and things when you're going through the menopause, and your bones can become more brittle and not as strong as they used to be due to lack of collagen and other things as well in the body. So Monjaro was the one that kept coming up as this is the one you should take. So I've only ever tried the lowest dose of 2.5. I've never gone up, okay, because of money, to be honest, as well. If I had more money, I would have gone up more. I would have gone up a couple of stages by now, but I haven't. I've only ever used 2.5 milligrams. So I go through a reputable online company, which is an actual pharmacist. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of due diligence. I looked at various companies, pricing, etc. And the company that I went with regularly check in on me. When I first started, in fact, they actually wanted photographs of me, measurements, who my doctor was, what medication I was on, lots of information. Okay, you're not just signing up online and that's it, bang, out goes your order in the post. It doesn't work like that. Okay, if you go with a legitimate company, they want to know more about you, they want to check you out, they want to make sure that you are who you say you are, with identification and all sorts of things. Okay, so you've got to be, really interested and real, and you've got to be honest, okay, with yourself if you want to do this, um, because even though this is a quicker fix, it's still going to take time. For me, it still hasn't been the quickest of processes. Okay, so that's one thing I can tell you now. So, for example, when I received my injection, in the injection itself, when it arrived, there was actually a 2-week delay, because that is the main dosage you start off of. So I think it's more popular anyway, for that reason, and because there's more and more people actually now. What's the word I'm looking at? Starting it basically the same as me. So when it arrived, it was 2 weeks until it physically arrived. So, I was like, oh, I just want to start now. I want to start now. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to get it going. So when it arrived, I read through the instructions. I started it on a Saturday. So I weighed myself. I couldn't find my measuring tape to measure my measurements at the time of my body. So I didn't actually measure myself, but I did weigh, and I took my first dose. Now, the injectable pen comes with 4 doses of the medication, basically. So it's just like a pen that you would twist the top on after attaching a new needle. So you keep everything as clean as possible, and you would then dispose of that needle once you'd used that one lot of medication that you inject into yourself, by using a disposable. You take off the you take off the needle, and put it into your needle bin that you also get sent as well, so that you dispose in needles correctly and safely, which is what I really like. So anyway, so I received my kit. It came all in packaging, and it has to stay cool. So there was like these ice packs around it to keep it cool. And I store it in the fridge as well, on the top shelf in the fridge, just to make sure that I keep it at a regulated temperature. So I started taking the injection within about 2 days, literally 2 days. I just felt like the food noise had gone. And what I mean about food noise is, I don't think about eating. I don't think about, oh, what am I going to have now? Oh, what's in the cupboard? What's in the fridge? What am I going to make for tea tonight? I was always thinking about food. That stopped. I only thought about it more so for cooking for my other half, because generally we have most meals together. And especially when I come home from work, and also on a Sunday, I would make a Sunday dinner. I'd cook a chicken dinner or something. And so I'd always be thinking about, right, what does he want, And so I would be thinking more from him, from that point of view. But I was not binging. I was not going into the fridge or the cupboards. I wasn't having more than 1 or 2 yogurts or anything like that. I wasn't even touching them. So I have definitely lost weight because my appetite has reduced. I don't feel like I want to eat as much as I used to. Not even half of what I used to. And I would say my calorie intake is around about 1,500 calories, 1,600 calories a day. It can fluctuate, because it depends on where I am, what I'm doing. If I'm working on my business, if I'm going to an event, if I'm if I'm meeting up with friends for coffee and all that sort of thing, I'm not depriving myself. I'm definitely still eating, yes, but nowhere near as much as I would, hence the weight loss. So I started this journey. It's a good 9-10 weeks ago now, I would say, roughly. 9 weeks ago, I would say. And I have seen a weight loss of around 16 pounds, which is just over a stone. So for me, that's amazing, because I couldn't lose more than about a pound or 2 max. It just would not go. It wouldn't budge. Whereas I have also noticed my waist is a lot smaller. My tummy is smaller. I can see like a difference in my collarbone. My collarbone is more prominent. I can see the weight loss come off the top of my shoulders. I can see there's different areas. Even my boobs look a bit smaller, and I'm quite big busted, which I also think is where a lot of the weight is as well. But I have noticed changes, which I'm happy with. I'm really happy with because I do feel better. The only side effect that I have personally experienced is heartburn. Although that has subsided quite a bit now. I've always been someone that suffered with tummy problems. So I'm always hiccuping. I do a lot all the time when I'm doing these videos. I've always suffered with things like that with my stomach. Since I was a child, I've always had issues, IBS and all sorts of things. I haven't experienced any vomiting. I have not been sick. I've not had tummy problems. Um, Occasional little bit of constipation, I suppose, but again, maybe once a fortnight, not really a major thing. I do go. It might just take me an extra day before I can go, whereas I'm normally every day regular. Um, that's pretty much it. Like, I've been very lucky, very grateful that I've been quite lucky and I've been fine. Um, so if you are thinking about doing this, I can send you a link where you can get a discount of up to £40 off your first injection. If this is something that you're interested in, I can certainly send you that link, but I would need your information to send you that link so you could then use that to buy your first injection. No pressure. It's your choice. I'm not pressuring anybody. It's down to you. Please seek medical advice. Do your research. The company I went through, MedExpress, are a massive company. They have their own pharmaceutical, pharmacy side of things. They're not a tiny company. They've been doing this a long time. They actually supply lots of different products, not just weight loss. But they are very good, and they do also send you reminders of when you're due to apply for your next actual injection. And that's another thing as well. When you're coming close to finishing your first injection pen, you will get a reminder, and in that reminder you have to fill out questions again. It's not just a press one button and bang, out goes your injection. You have to submit information again. It's not a very quick, and it is a quick process, but it's not like you just press one button and it just sends out another. They do ask you questions, one, to check if there's been any changes. They want to know your weight, what your current weight is. They do ask you several questions before they then look into your current status, basically, with them. They do check about your doctor's surgery. They check about a lot of things. So again, they're thorough. They're not just somebody that just wants money, to make money from you. Yes, they're making money from you. Of course they are. It's a business. However, it is properly done. It's professionally done, so I don't feel like I'm with some, dodgy company, because I wouldn't do that, especially when it comes to your health and you're injecting yourself with something. I feel that, there are celebrities out there that were putting me off, because there are some celebrities that have been honest, fair dues to them. They have been honest and saying, "Oh, I took it too far. I stayed on it too long, or I went up to a certain strength and I stayed on it too long." And, that's why they look extremely unwell and gaunt. And that's the thing I didn't want. I wanted to lose weight sensibly, but I didn't want to look that skinny. I don't want to look skinny. I like my curves. I like being a woman. I just want to be in a smaller frame overall. A dress, I want to be 2 to 3 dress sizes smaller. That's what I'm wanting to go back to. I just want to feel better in myself. I want to feel like I can wear clothes that I actually want to wear, than what options there are that fit me. So that was what it was about for me, and to help my mindset, because I know if I lose weight, I'm not in so much pain anymore with my joints, my back, my knees especially. My back and my knees are the main problem I've always suffered with, and I wanted to reduce my weight to ease the pressure on my joints, because walking just across the car park to get into the building, I have to use the lift. I don't use the stairs because it causes havoc with my knees. And I do have to carry a lot of equipment when I go in and out the building as well. So, I'm putting a lot of pressure on me just by walking and carrying laptop and this, that, and the other into work. So this is why there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to do this. It wasn't just weight loss. It was about improving my health overall and my mental health, because that's so important. So my advice to you, if you are looking to do something to help with the weight loss, or no, from your weight gain of being through the menopause, or if you were overweight anyway and you think you might be going through the menopause, I'm more than happy if you reach out to me. I can give you the information of the company that I use. I will provide you with a link if you want to use that to save yourself £40 off your first injection. That's if that promotion is still on. I will certainly send that to you, and you will get that discount code that you would apply when you get to checkout at the end of your transaction, when you've submitted your photographs, you've submitted your information, your doctor's information, your health information, medication information. There's a lot of stuff that you do have to go through. It doesn't take that long, don't get me wrong. As long as you've got photographs, my best suggestion really would be take photographs of you, front, side, and from the back. And what I did was I wore a pair of gym leggings and a crop sports bra, so they could see my tummy, my waist, everything. So they could see the areas where I was overweight. And I'm not very tall. I'm only 5'2.5" in height, so I'm not very tall. And I was carrying a lot of weight. I was really overweight, 4 stone overweight, in fact. So this is why I wanted to do this for me. So the fact that I'm now down over a stone so far, I'm very happy and very grateful that it's working. The only concerns I have now are the fact that the price is basically going to go up from next month in September, and I really don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't have the money to pay for something that's going to be shooting up in price. That's the only concern and annoyance, really, because I feel like I finally found something that's helping me, albeit it's coming off slower, but it's coming off in the right way. And I think the fact that it's coming off slow is sensible, really, because it's more manageable in my mind. However, if I cannot afford an injection, once the prices go up, then it is what it is. I just have to see what I can do once I stop taking the injection. But at the moment, I'm on the injection, and so far, so good. So, yes, I would recommend it, provided that you are suitable. Don't just try it for the sake of, don't go to somebody that you don't know. Definitely do due diligence. Please reach out to me if you want more information on the company I use. By all means, I'm happy to provide that. And thank you for being here. Most importantly, I appreciate your support on this channel, because I want to grow this community. It's about people that are over the age of 40. Of course, you don't have to be 40. You can be younger or older. It's just I'm at the stage of that sort of age in my life. I'm 45, going through the menopause, been on HRT now for 3 years next month. And I just wanted to wanted to create a community with people of like-mindedness, people that are still here. We are existing, we are here, and there's more to life, basically. And I want to make it a safe space for people and talk about all sorts of topics: mental health, getting older, retirement, all sorts of topics and things. Menopause, though, definitely a biggie for me, because although there's more information out there now, there still needs to be a lot more, and more so than ever. One big topic for me would be about the training that GPs receive, because all they get is 20 minutes regarding menopause in their training. That's it. So no wonder us women are struggling to be heard, listened to, because a lot of people, unfortunately, that have trained medically are just going by what's in a textbook. Now, what I will say on this is those textbooks are well out of date, and the data that was compiled to put into those old medical textbooks are based on just basic information that was collected later in life on women. It wasn't when people were younger. People didn't talk about it then. Now we're becoming more open. Social media is helping people talk about things, are becoming more open about what's happened to us in our 30s and 40s. It just goes to show that those textbooks are so wrong and so out of date. So I think I'm on a mission in many ways, really, to get the word out there, the message out there, that us women are going through something major, And it doesn't mean that it happens when you're nearly touching 50. It can happen when you're in your 30s, 40s and up. And I just want to be able to be a massive advocate for that, to help promote it, and to work with as many people as possible and spread the word and grow this channel in a safe space. But there we are. So that's my little, I suppose, overall view of using Monjaro. So if you'd like to know more, please comment below, please subscribe, please like, please share this out to the community of people. Please get your friends and that to join as well. I'd really appreciate your time and support there. Thank you so much for being here once again, and have a great day. Stay blessed. Thank you.